So you got a plan then, Craig?
We are going to scrape off all of the green on here
Right.
in preparation for the dry stone wall and the terrace,
Yeah.
and then excavate all the decent soil and stack it here.
Right. Stacking it there.
Yeah, stacking it here.
Yeah, that's why I killed all that off, you see.
Yeah,
I knew that was going to happen.
perfect. So
Right.
at least when all the soil's in, if there's anything left there, then that can just be dispersed into the beds.
Right.
And then we're going to and then all of the walling that we're not going to use, we can put into here as hardcore as a sub base for the wall and for the terrace.
Yeah.
And then we're going to stack all of the decent dry stone walling on top of that hardcore. And then when we build the dry stone wall, we can work inside this area.
Okay. Right, so I've got this plan, right? What we're going to do is we're going to excavate this area. We're going to use all the old dry stone walling we don't want. We're going to use that as hardcore down here. And then we're going to use the nice stone for the walling. And yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Thanks, chaps. Hello, garden lovers and landscape lovers, because this is a big landscaping one. Well, it will be for the next few weeks, actually. They started the Chelsea 2024 flower show. They started all the builds this week down there. Good luck, everybody. Hope it's going well. I've started my own garden build. I've been waiting a while for this. So I've got Justin and Craig in. Craig, I've worked with for many years. He's a really good friend of mine, a brilliant landscaper. I think he's one of the best I've ever worked with, if not the best, but don't tell him that because he'll want a pay rise or something. And Justin has worked with Craig. They've just built a modular job down the road. They're staying with me during the week, and we're really getting stuck into this garden. And Justin's fantastic on the machinery as well. We've got some machinery in. We've got the big digger in. Well, it's not a massive digger. It's perfect size for what we need. You need to be relatively agile on a site like this as well. Where do I start? Well, the drawing that I originally did, talking about the sort of rationale behind the design regarding the path up to the front door, and then the seating area, and trying to connect with the landscape behind me and all the shapes coming together and the views coming together. I've done a more detailed technical drawing. I'm happy to mark stuff out on the ground, but Craig and Justin want measurements. Can you believe they actually want measurements, dimensions? And obviously we have to quantify the materials, the amount of materials that we're getting on site and everything. So there's a certain amount of efficiency there. So I have done a drawing for them. And now it's a case of ripping everything up. So over here behind me, which what looks like I'm digging a swimming pool, this is where the sort of large elliptical seating area is going to go. But we've taken out all the really nice topsoil, stored it to one side behind me. And then we're going to lose a lot of the hardcore and old bits of paving that we can't use at all in that hole. And we're also sort of grubbing out, well, that's what they're doing down there at the moment, grubbing out where the privet hedge was, and ripping out a few tree stumps while we've got the digger on site. But I'm already excited by getting rid of these small lawn areas behind me. It's coming together, I've got to say. Really excited about progress. It's been a bit damp. The weather looks nice next week, but I think over the next few weeks it should really come together nicely. So I'll turn the camera around and go for a little wander. So all this paving has been lifted up, and the base underneath wasn't as good as I thought it might be. In fact, most of it's sort of laid on a bit of sand and a bit of mud. So that's all going to have to be consolidated with something called MOT scalpings. We're basically grading out the stones, all the good stones staying, all the rubbish, unusable stones going to go in there and use as hardcore. It's going to help with drainage. And also it means that we can get this topsoil out. In fact, the soil generally is better than I thought it would be, because it's been cultivated over many, many years, which is great. So there's actually going to be some banks and slight level changes through here. The blue pipe is so that I can put some water taps in around the garden for easy access, which is going to be really good. And then coming down this path, the path is changing. It's completely changing its line. But this was lawn with planting to one side. Look, there's remnants of an old brick path here as well. That was under about 2 inches of soil. That I was worried it might have been something to do with drainage, but it's not at all. So yes, this is all been scraped away, all this turf, and these plants over here are ones from this area that we've just healed in, and they came up nicely with the digger. It's been quite wet, and you can see the soil is quite claggy. Some of this planting really is gorgeous here, and I just want to add to it. So where the lawn areas have been taken out, we get a really good depth of field from the house. Just looking right across planting is the plan, with no lawns here where they were, which sort of create a little bit of a void. And I've pruned out through there, I pruned out some shrubs to sort of open up the view through to the bluebell wood from the house. I've actually taken out quite a few and pruned a few back, and I'm going to do a little bit more of that over time, I think. But yeah, it's sort of destruction stage of the project, and we get onto the construction quite soon. This is going to become the main seating area, which is really lovely. You get the view of the hills, you get the evening sun coming from over there. It's pushed away a little bit from the house, so it doesn't sort of conflict with the house when it's covered in garden furniture. So this is where Craig and Justin have been storing some of the really nice stone to be used. So I'm going to mix that up with a clay paver, which I'm just ordering now. So you're going to have a nice combination of sort of rustic stone that was already here and the paver, like a nice sharp stone, and they're going to complement each other. And even through here, we've taken out the odd very big tree stump, again with the digger. This is the time to make really big decisions and get on with it. And I know it's a bit scary, and it is a little bit scary for everybody, but it has to be done. So here I've started mowing a few little strips horizontally through here just to get a feel of how it will look, to try and get rid of the squareness of the whole site. And there are wildflowers and some nice little wild grasses coming through here. You can't really see the definition too well, but I'm just playing around with it really, just to get a sort of feel of how it might all change when I start planting up these areas. It stopped raining for a little bit, which is nice. And this is how it looks now.